going. Morning world, and welcome to Friday 5th of January and not raining. Right, so we have got jobs to do. That's got to be mucked out, but all this has got to be rebedded. That's got to be ready. Loads of work to do on the farm, but right now I've got bits of wire hanging down all inside skid steer, which I really need to I need to tidy that up. So these guys have got plenty to eat. They have got somewhere dry to lie down, so it's not desperate for a second. So we're going to go and finish this, and then it is back to the mundane daily grind of digging out poo. And it still works. I mean, the picture is not fantastic, and I got to go through the menu settings on the back to see if I can change that. But yeah. We'll do that before we stick it up in its permanent position. So right now it is just lodged in there. Hello. You got mucky feet right down my neck again, haven't you? Because that's cold. Thank you. So grateful. Right, so I got to have a tidy up. I need to sort out this muddle because that is exactly what it is. I have got new rear lights coming, so I've only ordered the rear for the time being. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these guys apart and see if I can replace the old halogen bulbs in these for LEDs. So basically I'm going to keep these lights as originals, just change the bulbs. So I don't need flashy lights, and I just need lights that work. So, and you know what, if I can use the originals, housings, I don't see a problem with that. So yeah, job one, tidy this lot up. Also on the cards for the day, I've got to go and look at some chestnut trees on the side of a road. I've got to go and do 2 bags of logs, lots and lots to do today. So yeah, it might even be a half interesting video, so stick around just in case. We made a decision to mount the camera up on here, and I think what we're going to do, I'm actually going to bring it back, hold down here. I think I'm going to bring the camera back a bit closer to the rear of the vehicle, just to give me that bit more chance to see something right behind me. So yeah, so down here, new hole, mount that, another hole behind. That looks pretty good to me. That's some hard steel, that is. I'm not sure if my old cone cutter is going to go through that. So, drill bit supplied by Peter, and the drill supplied by, was it Matthew from Ireland? I think it was Matthew. If it wasn't Matthew, you know who you are, and thank you very much indeed. This is actually the first time I've used this. So we've got some gates, new gates we've hung, and I've got to drill out some of the holes to put pins in on the hinges. So this will get used for that as well. But yeah, this is actually the first job this guy's been used for. Right, we'll go with a bigger drill bit, and then we'll go out with the cone. You can go back in there, and we'll have, well, we might as well go with a big one, because that's what we're going to use it. You don't want to do that too often, tighten that by hand, because I tell you what, that gets hot quick. Right. Don't want you falling off there, do we? that's that. Gonna stay there. And that should be big enough for that. Yeah, that works. New hole. And you're going to go in there. Make sure I'm not going to punch through on anything I don't want to. No, that's clear space in there. Hole 2. Hole 3 next. I can go back in there as well. Right, this is the bit I think we're going to struggle on a bit, because those first few rings are the ones that I've used the most and they're not very sharp, and this is hard. So this may not go as well as I would like. Okay, I only need it big enough to get that. Next one up should do it, he says. So the next job is going to be looking for the grommets. I've got a box of grommets, again, somewhere, I'm not sure where. So I don't really want metal filings in there, because what I should have done really is put a bag or something over this and stop the filings going down in there, because they'll go rusty and eat through the paint. So blower, I think. Yeah, that fan belt's looking a bit. Might be nearly time to change the fan belt again. Right, okay, so I've had to replace the bolt and nut because it turned out the thread had gone on the one I used, so now we've got a completely overkill size bolt in there. That ain't coming off there in a hurry. Dirty great big bolt on there. Camera's going to give it for that does. Okay, so now fed the cable down for the hole. I can't find the grommets, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a bit of tape just around that piece of the cable there, just to protect it against chafing. And then inside we'll use a bit of this stuff, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cable tie it via the fins inside up to the top here, and then if I've got enough I'll actually also bring it up. I'll bring it out the side there and then up to the hole up there, so just so it's protected. Next up is put away the tools I don't need anymore. Bit more. Like I say, this is just to help prevent the chafing on that hole. I've deburred it, but there's going to be vibration, and I haven't got a grommet, and I'll probably forget. Can't find him, so note to self, order some grommets. That's about right. Okay, now we're sucking diesel. Okay, so camera's on, stuck with just that. Cable's in, the conduit to protect the cable's in. Well, that might have to just hang like that. I don't really want to drill a hole in there just to crimp that back tidy, because it's going to fall in there anyway and go like that. So that cable, that quite happily crunches in there. So might get some sticky fittings just to hold that up there, or I might just clean that up and use a bit of silage tape and just see how that works. So these cables are only barely long enough to go through there. So I'm going to connect up, make them a bit longer inside. Got me bits and bobs there. So yeah, we're making progress. It's just flipping slow because I keep getting disturbed by things and stuff and folks. So have I got enough there? Yeah, I got enough to connect there. So it's not quite long enough to reach this chap. I've literally just got to put a little bit of extension on there to reach that. So the cable I got's a bit overkill, but that's what I got. So that's what I'll use. Right, so we have put our little piece of red cable on there just to extend over to this live source. This is a ignition live source that only comes on with the ignition. Got plenty on there because I can tuck this up out the way. We've put the female side of the spade connector on this end because power is going that way. So if ever this becomes disconnected, we haven't got the naked male part waving around in here around metal bits. Okay, does that make sense? So when you're wiring up anything, well, electrics, 12 volts, you kind of want to make sure that wherever the live is coming from, the live feed is coming from, if it becomes disconnected, it can't short out. Okay, especially if you had all your dashboard and everything else out to do it, and then something should come apart for some reason, and you've got to have all the dashboard out again to do it. So in this case, that's not so serious, but it does prevent things like fires. All right, so okay, so that's that. We've got the feed from the camera, which is the black cable. We've got the power to the camera, which is this red cable. We've also got in here the earth to the camera. So we're going to have to also put a bit of extra cable on there because it won't reach where I want it to go. So then that is, we're not using red for that, we're using black, if I can find the end. Crimp you together. That should be both of them in there. You can go back, wherever your little end go. I heard it drop. Where did it go? Where did that go? Make sure the cable's inside there. It is. Okay, so that is the earth to the camera sorted out. And what I'm going to do again, I'm going to put a bit of tape around those two bits of cable there, just to support, because that little cable is such fine wire. If somebody got a bit rough-handed in here, they could pull them apart. So we'll just give that a bit of extra support. Made a mistake. I should have put that cable in there as well. Bugger. Have I got another male? That's talking about it instead of thinking about it, innit? Right, okay, so make sure I got the right one. I have. Just that off there. That. We'll bond them together. Slip that over the top. Make sure that's right up inside there. And crimp. Right. Now we should be sucking diesel. That's my earth. That's the live. That's going to go into that one there. So we'll have them like that in a minute. So we can cut you off there. So once all my guards and everything's put back, you will hardly notice this has been done, he says, famous last words. It's going to be nice and... God, that is tiny. Nice and tiny. Nice and neat. I need to crimp you as well. At least having this bigger cable, I've got something for the spade connector to get hold of. Right, so I need a male spade. You're okay. You and you can be entwined together. I'll probably end up cutting most of this because I dare say it's a bit dull and boring. Again. All right, so now we have got power, which is switched from the ignition on there. We have got feed from the camera, which is you there. We've got, that can all be tucked back up in there out the way. That can go back up in there out the way. That's my earth, which I'll use again for the spotlights when they come. So we will have this apart. So I'm not going to get too fussy about being really finicky about getting all this tucked tidy, because I've got to have it out again. But yeah, that can go up in there. Might be a couple of cable ties just to keep that neat. We need to put you up out the way, so we need to know where that's going to go. We are definitely getting there. Too much cable. What am I going to do? I've got to bunch this lot back up. Again, cable tie it, and it's going to have to go somewhere. Can I make room in there? Maybe. Maybe. All right. That's that back up. That light has been intermittent before. So, but I just stuck the camera up. Right, that works. Okay, so we'll look at the light. It might well be the bulb gone. So, but I know that has played it before in there. We'll look at that when we take this apart again to put the lights on the back, which is going to be the next job for this. Will be reversing lights or rear working lights. In the meantime, we'll tidy up that bit of conduit at the back and the cables. We'll put all this lot away, and then I really want to get and do some work. Okay, I suppose the acid test now is how close could I get to that bin now? Because before, the visibility was pretty much the same as looking out the just look out the back window. I can't see the bin now. So, in fact, I can come a bit lower than that. Okay. See how close I can get to the bucket. So, I don't think it's going to see the bucket from there. Can I see the edge of the engine lid though? Yeah. I think so. So, there's the bucket. That's how close. So a small child there. All right, if it was right stood behind, I wouldn't see a small child or a small animal or a dog or something, but that, I can see that from in there using that. Yeah, I've still got to tidy that up. Not happy with that yet, but like I said, I've got to take it all apart again to do the lights, so we'll do that then. In the meantime, I got jobs to do. You've seen this enough times, and that's out of battery. So yeah, we'll come back later.